Welcome to WNBA Fight Night, or as some people are saying, WNBA Raw.
Here, the Indiana Fever fans were chanting, Sophie, Sophie.
She is the enforcer that the Fever have needed for the last year, and she has responded.
This wasn't basketball, it was a war zone. 1 minute, Caitlin Clark was driving down the court. The next, she was laid out, eyes burning, blindsided, and flat on her back. What just happened wasn't a foul, it was an ambush. The refs didn't blow the whistle, the crowd didn't even react at first. But Sophie Cunningham, she did, and when she moved, the entire league felt it. No hesitation, no words, just a storm of retaliation that turned a regular season game into the most viral moment of the WNBA year. But what made this moment explode wasn't just the physicality, it was what it represented. This wasn't just one player defending another, this was Sophie Cunningham sending a message to the entire league. You want to mess with Caitlin Clark? You're going through me first. And that message hit harder than any screen or shoulder check.
Marina Mabrey body checking Caitlin Clark to the ground. JC Sheldon all over her. Pokes Caitlin Clark in the eye. Oh man, Caitlin Clark needs to start wearing goggles, folks. Caitlin Clark's gonna need to start wearing goggles.
The game started like any other. Indiana Fever versus Connecticut Sun. Two teams with playoff hopes, national attention, and one very big target, Caitlin Clark. From the opening tip, Clark was swarmed. JC Sheldon was draped on her like a second jersey, physical, aggressive, and clearly trying to rattle her. Then it escalated. Sheldon swiped Clark right in the eye. No whistle, no call. Just a star player doubled over and blinking through the pain. Clark, to her credit, didn't lash out. She pushed Sheldon off calmly. But before she could take 2 steps, boom, Marina Mabrey came flying in from the weak side and laid her out like she was trying out for the NFL Combine.
He had contact with her like 4 to 5 times. That should have been called a foul before the eye swipe even happened. Marina Mabrey comes out of nowhere and chucks her to the floor.
And that's when it happened. That's when Sophie Cunningham snapped. When Sophie saw Clark hit the deck, something flipped. It wasn't panic, it wasn't rage, it was precision. The kind of calculated reaction you'd expect from someone who's been waiting, planning for this exact moment. She didn't run, she closed in fast, straight toward Sheldon, straight toward Mabrey. The look on her face said it all. Enough is enough. And the crazy part? This wasn't even about basketball anymore. This was protection, enforcement. From that moment, Sophie wasn't playing the game. She was policing it. Every screen, every cut, every drive, Sophie was there, like a personal security detail for Caitlin Clark, with full clearance to make contact. You could feel it in the arena. The vibe shifted. Players got tense. Coaches looked nervous. Fans leaned in. Everyone knew if anyone touched Caitlin again, Sophie was going to end the conversation.
Sophie Cunningham had enough. Oh yeah, we're not gonna start the fight, but we damn sure will finish the fight.
So lads, Sophie Cunningham showed that she is, the old Caitlin Clark enforcer. She is the Caitlin Clark enforcer.
Let's be honest, this didn't come out of nowhere. From the moment Caitlin Clark entered the WNBA, it's been open season. Cheap shots, off-ball bumps, screens with elbows, every team has tested her. And most nights, she just takes it. But here's what's wild. The refs rarely do anything about it. She's been poked, pushed, shoved, blindsided, and dragged through the paint. And somehow, she's the one picking up technicals. That's not just bad officiating, that's negligence. So when Sophie got tossed for stepping in, it wasn't just unfair. It was exposing something the league would rather keep quiet. And the fans, they noticed. Before the game even ended, Sophie went viral. A single post from the locker room. No words, just her face. And that face said everything. Hashtag Enforcer Sophie started trending. Fans rallied behind her like she was a modern-day Dennis Rodman. Only this time, it wasn't about flash, it was about loyalty. She's not just a teammate, she's a fucking shield. She did what the refs wouldn't. She stood up. Suddenly, everyone was talking. ESPN, Twitter, Reddit, even fans who never watched a WNBA game in their life were now searching Sophie Cunningham highlights. Because it wasn't just a fight, it was a moment.
Sophie Cunningham has just shown that if you are going to do something to Caitlin, it's not going to be free anymore. Teams are going to have to think twice about messing with Caitlin Clark again.
The kind that flips narratives and changes careers.
She's not new to this. Drafted in 2019, Sophie's never been afraid of contact, never back down. She plays like she's got something to prove, because she does. But this was different. This was leadership in its rawest form. She didn't give a speech, she made a stand. She saw her teammate get targeted and decided, not today. You don't teach that. You don't coach that. That's instinct. That's DNA. And make no mistake, this isn't for clout. Sophie's not angling for endorsement deals or post-game praise. She doesn't need cameras. She needs accountability. So when she stepped in, she wasn't playing. She was defending something bigger than basketball. And here's where things get messy. Because after all that, after the eye poke, the blindside hit, the chaos, guess what? No ejections. Just a few technicals. A flagrant. That's it. You'd think someone would step in. Commissioner Kathy Engelbert? Silent. Refs? No explanation. It's almost like they don't want to deal with it. And that's the problem. When the officials don't act, the players will.
This does not happen if the referee just stops this early. If the referee chucks Marina Mabry, if the referee chucks JC Sheldon when she clawed Caitlin Clark in the face, none of this happened.
And that's where the league is right now, teetering between sport and spectacle. Because this isn't just about Clark anymore. It's about every young star watching from the sidelines, wondering if they'll get the same welcome. And it's about every veteran thinking they can take a shot with no consequence, until Sophie Cunningham showed up. This wasn't a one-time outburst. This was the beginning of something. The next time Clark gets fouled hard, every camera is going to look not at the refs, but at Sophie. What's she going to do? She's become the deterrent, the presence that changes behavior. You want to foul Clark? You better hope Cunningham's on the bench, or else you're signing up for a fight you didn't train for. This is control through consequence, and it works. Sophie's not just playing for Indiana anymore. She's redefining what team means in the WNBA. She's giving young players permission to stand up, speak out, and hit back, legally but loudly. And the league? It has a choice. Adapt to this new reality or get swept up in it. Here's the truth. Caitlin Clark might be the face of the WNBA, but Sophie Cunningham just became its backbone. She's not the player you expect, she's the one you feel, the one who changes games without scoring, who turns routine drives into national headlines. You don't prepare for Sophie, you pray she doesn't notice you. And for anyone thinking they'll make their name roughing up Clark, think again. Because now every hit comes with a consequence. Every cheap shot comes with a response. And every team knows if you touch Clark, you deal with Sophie. And let me tell you, that's a battle most players aren't ready for. If you stand with Sophie, drop a comment. Enforcer Sophie. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and turn on notifications. Because this story isn't over, it's just heating up.